I am jealous of Tash's arms, though. Boy,
Yeah, I know. Me too.
I
I was
mean,
like, damn.
damn. I know. It's like, woo.
She does a barb, I'm gonna barf.
And today's news, the baseball game was a blowout.
From movies to video games, welcome to Marie Plays It All. Today's episode is Relatively Geeking, where my brother Rob and I geek out about the good times. Now, before we do anything, before we get into anything, Rob, you have to sit there while I say something about last week's episode. Last week's episode, I had Kevin Lyons on. I forced him to draw horror icon, horror element style monster mashups, and I gave him 5 minutes for each sketch. So if you haven't checked out that episode, check it out here. After he drew all the sketches, I got to choose one of the sketches that he did, and then he was going to make a good copy, like spend time on it, good artistic copy of it. So go check out at Replays It All on Instagram and see it there. I will post it there for everyone to see. So YouTube doesn't give us a strike and flag us for gore, even though it's a drawing. Anyway, I had to do that for last week's episode. For this week's episode, Rob has another thing to show me that I don't know what it is. It's another reaction video to something on YouTube or some sort of article. I don't
Something
know
on
what he's going to
YouTube.
show me.
On the
On
YouTubes.
YouTube. Something on the YouTubes that he's gonna show
Okay.
me. I don't know what he's gonna show me, but do you want to
Yeah.
tell me
Okay.
first? Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you first. So you have been behind on the news. The
Like
game
always.
news. Yeah. So the game news,
Mhm.
video game news on Dragon Age Veilguard. Dragon Age is like Mass Effect, only fantasy. BioWare, same company. I remember when Dragon Age first came out, way back in the past. It's like Mass Effect, where rich storyline, interesting characters, you can make many different choices, many branching paths, romance. It felt like an interactive story with like cool combat in a fantasy world. Okay, it's like the fantasy Mass Effect, same company. Okay, really great.
Beautiful.
However, as with many games, the modern games that have been made recently try to appeal to the modern audience. In which case, the writing has been updated for a modern audience, the sensibilities, the art style. So, the new Dragon Age game, Dragon Age 4, in effect, Dragon Age Veilguard, has a team of writers that like to appeal to this audience.
It's what they assume the modern audience is.
Well,
And
yeah,
maybe just a fraction of the modern audience.
there's no such thing as a modern audience. That's been
No.
invented both by sort of delusional capitalists in corporal America, as well as political ideologues and virtuous moralists. Doesn't exist. But you haven't seen many of the scenes in
I
Dragon Age Veilguard, and I want to show you some of the cutscenes.
haven't seen any of them. I have
You haven't
no
seen any.
idea.
You don't even know what I'm talking about. So
No.
I think the goal here is to analyze and think about the writing and the aesthetics and the sensibilities in these scenes. Now, many of these scenes are like politically charged because it deals with quote unquote woke stuff. But ultimately, that's not the problem. The problem is how it's presented and how it's treated. That the
Okay.
quality of the writing and the expression of the characters is so bad, it insults the very ideas they're trying to promote.
That's so common.
It's like, okay, you want to talk about these real world issues, but you did it bad. So you're going into this completely blind. You don't even know about this game.
No.
Yeah, so everyone has been mocking this scene, and
Okay.
it features a character named Taash. And Taash is a Canary, kind of like part dragon.
Hmm.
That's kind of an insufferable character, and I believe a self-insert of some author or someone whom they want to be. It's my guess. Okay, let's do it up.
This is where we eat.
I see.
Shathan, it's good to see you again.
My child wished to show me where she now lived.
I made
So
food.
bitter. Tash's mom.
Okay.
Here, this cup. Made it myself.
And do you have powdered ginger for the table?
I'll go get some.
You have powdered ginger for the table?
You are not good enough for my child.
Ooh.
I haven't heard any complaints.
You are emotionally sloppy and lack the resolve she needs. You will only bring her pain.
Or I could make Taash happy.
It is not about happiness.
Then what is it about?
Teaching my child to survive in this world.
Taash is an adult.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
you haven't finished teaching by now...
I have failed, yes. I was never taught how to be a mother. Under the Qun, children are raised by those suited to such pursuits. I trained as a scholar. I was taught to think critically, to analyze without passion, and correct mistakes.
I was taught how
You
to
need
be a
not
bee.
tell me that I am an inadequate mother. I am aware.
Then why did you leave?
When I see my child in danger, I act.
Look at that
There's a
walk.
ginger.
It's a little bit
Yeah. Yeah, that was weird.
some Michael Jackson
you.
going on.
So, I'm non-binary.
Corrupt?
What does that mean?
It means I don't feel like a man or a woman.
If you are neither a man nor a woman, then what are you?
Non-binary. I just said, and I'm going to use they instead of she from now on.
If this is because I have criticized your dress or your manners...
It isn't!
Under the Qun, the term for one whose gender does not match the one given to them at birth was a Qunathlok. Perhaps you are like that.
Why do you have
But-
to keep picking at it? Why can't you just be happy for me?
Evatash, Chakra to Ebra.
So I'm supposed to struggle with who I am? Even if I don't feel like I fit, even if I feel wrong?
No, you misunderstood.
Then say it better! Why am I never enough for you?
I will go.
I know she's your mother, but I don't like her.
Yeah, well, you should.
You good?
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but Taash just looks awful.
I'm not hiding anymore.
This is the thing. There are characters like this in video games from the beginning of time, and we just are like, oh, this character's like that. Like no one says anything, no one cares, no one. But why do you have to incorporate it in part of the story? And it sounds like to me that this Taash has a lot of inner issues that don't have to do with her pronoun or identity. Like it's more like they are kind of just want to disobey their mom and like be a rebel.
No, Taash, Tash's storyline is actually struggling with identity. It's actually part of the theme. It'd be
Okay.
interesting to see if it was part woven into the overall story arc of the world, where characters have struggles that are also reflective of an overall narrative. So there's a cohesion. I don't know. To me, it's just a ham-fisted wooden writing and setting up this very wooden dichotomy of between a domineering mom and a daughter who's misunderstood, where the domineering mom can't speak like a sentient being.
Yeah.
It's like, please sit down. Thank you for the food. Like it's so ridiculously like rude and mean, and she said, I'm a failed mom, but in our civilization, we don't raise our own children. It's the children are given to experts that associate with their craft. So how could you be a good parent when that's not how your society is organized, as far as I remember from the games? So it's
Yeah.
it's like a crystallized imaginary scene that perfectly encapsulates a like fake conflict at the dinner table. Like even it's at the dinner table with your
Yeah.
crazy uncle where he sits there and he's like, so why aren't you voting for Trump? Like it's like these issues are so much more subtle and complicated. I think the writing is just satirical.
Well, yeah, she just comes and sits down. I'm non-binary. Like just spits it out like that, like just so they can try to fit it in the game somewhere.
Well, and the mom's dumb. It's like, is it because of the way you dress? It's like you even know in your own language that there's something analogous to non-binary. Like, have you not heard of this concept in this
Yeah,
world? You can have that in a game, but it needs to be done well. That's what I
it
think. If you're gonna
wasn't.
have it done well. I'm sorry, the character models look horrible. Like the stylized overly large features and the heads are larger than they supposed to be. Just they don't look good to look at.
I didn't think that one looked that bad because I was like, it's part beast, right? So it's like,
It's Heart Beast. Um,
well, it looks
okay,
like it's
well,
part of a beast. Like I was expecting it to be like ultra gorgeous and
no,
like
no.
delicate if it's part like
I,
a
I am jealous of
beastie.
Tash's arms though. Boy.
Yeah, I know, me too.
I
I was
mean,
like, damn.
damn, I know. It's like, woo. All right, let's go to
Yeah.
the next one. This is the scene everyone is dunking on, and it connects to the first scene we watched. That was context for this one.
Taash pries the enormous ruby out of the statue's eye socket. Except then it wakes up, and now it's real pissed that it's missing an eye.
Oh, my.
What kind of statue is this?
Big snake.
Oh, you're so dorkable.
Not bad.
Not bad. It's a giant snake. What would have been better than that?
Dragon.
Maybe. I've seen dragons, though. Never a giant snake.
And now we've got a giant, angry, one-eyed snake statue trying to swallow Taash whole.
Wait, how does that work? Where would they go? Did it have a stomach?
She wants to know if a snake has a stomach. Does a snake have a stomach? Well, the snake can swallow you. It's got a snake is nothing but a mouth with a stomach.
Yeah. It's a
It's so
snake is
dumb.
one big long stomach.
Yeah, I know. It's just like, does it have a stomach? It's like, no,
Oh,
it
oh.
doesn't. It just eats things.
I'm also getting like phallic energy here.
Oh yeah, the one-eyed snake. I know, no, I know.
Yeah. Okay.
And the way they're sitting, that is fine. You can have characters who do that, but it's so on the nose. It's like, we're gonna do different than crossing the legs. We're gonna man spread. That's what we're gonna do. Take that, patriarchy.
While Taash is pounding that snake's nose, she's still holding the ruby in her other hand. Maker's panties, I was so proud.
Oh,
Ah, shit. They're still holding it. Sorry.
What are you doing?
Pulling a Bharv.
Oh. Okay.
a Bharv.
Tradition in the Lords of Fortune from one of our old members, Bharv. Good guy, but like most of us, his plans went sideways a lot. Bad blood among your crew's not good for morale, but there's not always time for big drawn-out apologies. So when one of us screws up and we know we've screwed up, we do a quick 10 to put it right. Pulling a Bharv.
This sounds so bad, Bharv.
There we go.
Do you know what she was doing?
She was punishing herself and like redeeming herself for accidentally misgendering her. Them. Sorry.
So
I'm gonna
yeah,
go
I
pull
didn't
a
mean
Bharv
to
right
like,
now. I'm gonna pull
I
a
just want to
Bharv.
make sure you, not that you're dumb, to capture that moment because it's so gratuitously virtue signaling and self-indulgent punishment. But yes, there we go.
Yeah, and it's like the Taash person didn't even say anything. They're like,
That's
"Oh,
what's
what?
interesting. Yep.
Yeah, what are you doing?"
I appreciate the willingness to show skin though.
Yeah, it doesn't suit that character at all.
It does not.
Like this,
No.
like this character's all like a big, and she's talking like a pirate, and she's like all puff, sitting like a man spreading, and she's got this little thing with cold in there, and this little tiny
I
outfit, and it's like
I
it doesn't
don't know.
match.
I don't know if the player put that on the character though.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you could do that.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Any reason you can't just apologize?
Sometimes people say, oops, sorry, and hope that fixes it. But they just want to get the whole thing over with. Trust
God.
me, I know. But pulling a Bharv, you sweat a little. Makes you think about it a little more. Shows the other person you mean it.
What if they mean it when they say they're sorry, though?
And that's the other reason. Some people mess up and get all dramatic. They make it about them.
Isn't that what she just did?
The funny thing is, I was waiting for you to say that. This is what everyone's been saying. You said it instantaneously.
She just did that
She
as
just
like a
showboated.
display. as a display, and like like Taash didn't even say anything. She was doing it for herself, not for Taash.
Correct.
Oh, I didn't mean it right. I'd never do that on purpose. They feel so bad about it that it's on everyone else to smooth it over and make them.
I like how the character looked at the camera
Yeah.
right there. So it's like
That's-
they're talking to the audience, like, this is what you do. This is what you guys do all the time. I never did it on purpose. They feel so bad about it that it's on everyone else to smooth it over. This like, who does this? This isn't even real.
Them feel
It's not.
better.
Oh, okay. Yes, some people might do that.
Pulling
So-
a Bharv puts it on the person who screwed up. They made the mess, they fix it, done.
So the adorkable elf girl,
Yeah.
she's the abdorkable, like adorable dork.
Yes, I
in, like,
understand.
all games. So, okay, in all games now.
Yeah.
She's not acting really in character. She is meant to be the audience.
Yes. of
Like
course.
us, like asking the
Yes.
question, like, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? So we, the audience, can be educated in
Yeah.
how to speak to people we misgendered.
Absolutely.
Thank you for teaching us how to live, video game.
Yeah,
If you
thank
didn't do it, I don't know who would.
Do. Thanks, Sesame Street.
I'm gonna go do a Bharv.
Yeah.
And I like how she's so like, oh, really? It's like you're that easy. You don't have any thought for yourself. This is what a lot of the people are like in real life anyway. They're just like,
Mhm.
oh, really? You're saying this one thing? Okay, that's the right thing then.
Yeah.
I'm glad the Lords of Fortune have Tash's back.
Oh, Taash isn't the first non-binary member of the Lords.
Really?
It was a little before your time, but Horlicks was one of ours.
Huh.
Bastard looked better than I did in a dress or pants. And out of them too.
I don't know about that.
Where was I? So, there Taash is, thigh deep in a snake's maw and still holding the giant ruby in one hand. I yelled that we'll get them out of there, and Taash just yells back, "Get up its ass! I'll meet you in the middle!"
Okay, the stomach I get, but did it really have?
Hey, who ate the last breaded cheese wand?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I guess I thought, well, I don't know what.
She does a
It's
barf, I'm
fine.
gonna barf.
No.
If she barfs, I'm gonna
They're
barf.
your favorite.
Say you're sorry some more. That'll fix it.
Oh
No.
my god.
You're right. I'm pulling a Bharv.
This is the worst part. It's so
1, 2.
like Taash should
God.
say no.
Heart's in the right place.
Yeah.
Like this is
Form's a little sloppy
This
there.
is so gross.
I know.
Bend your knees.
Bend your knees. Like the sexual innuendo throughout this is uncomfortable.
Also, it's like hazing in a sense. I ate your last food. I didn't know. And then it's like, oh my god, but those are your favorite. I should cater to you and everything. All your desires matter way more than mine. I'm so sorry.
She learned her lesson that she's not supposed to overly apologize. Oh, you're also not supposed to under apologize. So you should just be quiet and do a physical, public punishment, self-punishment. Like it's weird. Like this is not how friends talk or people talk. There's an underlying sex and cruelty in this.
Yeah.
And guess what? Who is the sacrificial victim here? Non-binary people being used as a token for punishment and sex. Like characters can act without bringing up all these sex topics. It's kind of, I get it. It's going to be kind of funny or whatever, but in the context of moral instruction, that's not right.
This whole thing it's like really malicious. It's making my skin crawl, and it's gross.
Yeah, and like it has nothing to do with talking about, like, you can handle this question of misgendering and someone's identity without this form of sex and cruelty woven into it. And basically there's two forms of apology which is denied. One is saying, "Oh, I'm really sorry about that." The other one's right, straightforward, "I'm sorry." The other is like, "Oh man, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to do that." And you're speaking like that, not to make it about you, because you're terrified of being seen as a bigot. So you can't just say, "I'm sorry," because that's not enough. You can't like actually show concern and emotion because now it's about you. So what do you got to do? Like I said, public punishment, announced and then performed in front of an audience with Taash watching. Taash doesn't say, "Hey, you know what? It's okay. Like just chill out. Also, when Rook, that's the main character to the left, that's the player character, says, was that enough for you? Or like, how do you take that apology? Taash does not even respond to that. Taash goes directly to, am I included? Like, you accept people like me. And then it's like, yeah, we accept people like you because we can have sex with you with pants on and
Okay.
off.
Okay.
So you're right. So you're dealing with a serious topic about how someone conceives themselves and how you talk to people who conceive themselves, because I'm non-binary, but it's done in this ham-fisted, didactic, moral superior way where people have to punish themselves because they can't say sorry, because all forms of verbal apology are wrong. And friends don't talk like that to each other, even though they might not, they're still gelling. Like there's no grace, mercy, love, understanding. It's brutal.
Well, it's also teaching people to not apologize, which is BS. Like, don't apologize. Go punish yourself physically and prove it. Let me know. Because you're not truly sorry unless you're feeling pain, unless you are in pain.
Well, yeah,
I'm taking it away even just from like the non-binary thing. I don't even care about that. If that's
yeah.
not even an issue to me in this thing, it's the fact that they're saying apologizing sucks. You have to physically punish yourself in order to make someone else feel better. Well, and they're saying that's not about you. That's about them. No. You're doing it. It's all about you. Sorry. Oh, mad.
No. And you're to prove that what you're saying is true and it's abstracted from the gender question is she does it because of the food.
Yeah.
Like it's been extended to a treat. And Taash is not even nice about it. Like, it's okay, bud. And we're not reading too much into this. This is
No.
clearly the lesson of the scene. It represents something. It represents a kind of human relationship. The particularness, the individuality of the characters are abstracted out because clearly she's a flighty character. She's
Mhm.
absent-minded. There's no intention of eating her little favorite snack. She seems to feel guilty. She is very lacks confidence. And so you don't let someone like that punish themselves. You say, you know what? It's okay. Did you enjoy it? I'm happy that you enjoyed it. Next time you do that, there's going to be trouble. Haha. Comedy. Everything feels better. We're friends. But can you imagine doing that to another human being?
No. And, like you see here how they're all on
Gross.
one side and then she's sitting off to the side. She's the little meek outcast one that they're trying to like conform to their beliefs and views.
Well,
That's what's
yeah,
happening.
she's the student and we're supposed to be her.
Yes. Yep.
I'm already thinking people will say you're reading too much into it. No, the authors of this dialogue are very clearly teaching us about how humans ought to treat each other.
Yes, and also I'm not reading too much into it because I literally just watched it for the first time and it's my first initial reaction. How is that reading too much into it? It's my first initial reaction and thought was this. So that's how it made me feel right away.
Yeah. So someone said these cutscenes are like HR videos. I've seen a lot of HR videos, and these are exactly like HR videos. You have a manufactured conflict. You then have the solution and then resolution, and it's spoken in a very didactic way, a way that human beings don't operate.
All right, that really made me upset, man. That was really like I felt that was not an uplifting bonding moment for these people. It felt like bullying on this little young adorable girl. Like it was almost like and it's very much like do what we do. This is the right way. I don't know, man. I didn't like it.
Okay, next one.
Okay,
You having fun?
which one? Yeah, I'm having fun, but I'm also getting a little mad. And
These ones are funnier.
it's not even about the binary thing. It's just I hated that Bharv scene. That was
I know.
so
I know.
as a Canadian who apologizes all the time, let me tell you, we mean it. I mean it when I
yeah.
apologize every time. And if you want me to go do a push-up, that's about you, not about me. So
Yeah.
screw it. I would never do that.
Whatever's out there, we'll face it together, I promise. Together.
I could kiss you right now. I'm going to kiss you right now.
At least there's something we might need to. It's your, magic.
Rook?
You make the world spin, Lace Harding.
Rook! Lyrium. It's like I'm infused with lyrium.
I noticed it when we touched. That night when we talked about your dreams.
You knew? You knew and you still kissed me?
Wow, I feel drunk.
Yeah, it's because I turned your head into mush.
Or it's love.
You boob! This is not funny! Okay, I'll fix it. I promise. I will find a way and I will fix it. Okay?
Okay, so wait, what do you want me to see about this? It's cute.
Oh, just the writing of the kiss scene.
I thought the whole thing was cute and I liked it.
Okay, we don't have to be negative.
Okay, what are people saying?
Not so much other people saying, it's just people have pointed that scene out as an example of bad writing.
Oh.
A couple things, and maybe it's because I have a withered black heart, but it's so, given the general tenor and how the scenes have been played out generally, it causes a kind of suspicion when you watch every scene, at least for me, which is that the "I'm going to kiss you now," she needs to say, or else it's non-consensual.
Oh, see, in my romantic mind, I'm thinking she's like, oh my God, I think I gotta kiss you. Oh my God, I'm gonna kiss you. Like, she's like, oh my God, like it's happening.
Yeah, but
Oh, and she's just being cute and letting it out.
You just said those lines way better.
Have you noticed that all the voice acting is terrible in
It
here
is,
so
but
far?
I love the way you did that. That was good.
Be excited.
Yeah, I like that. That was good. I don't know. I just thought it felt a little forced. And okay, the overall tenor, as you'll see in more of these scenes, is that cheery, noble, bright, taking serious themes, and before you get to like the heart of the matter, you have to quickly pull back and make it jokey.
Okay.
And so I think this scene could have been more tender.
Oh yeah, it definitely, the delivery was wrong on her side especially. The delivery wasn't great. The delivery hasn't been great. It's been all really dry and not realistic or like humans. Was it AI? Like, did AI?
Again, funny, people have been saying that. Like, it sounds like AI.
Well, that would just explain it because there's no soul or heart in the AI. So, I mean, that would explain the soullessness.
I guess, yeah, you say that it's kind of cute, and I agree, but it doesn't feel cute. At least for me, like it is cute, but I don't feel the cuteness between those characters. Okay, so Marie is one scene love, two scenes hate, and I'm two scenes hate, one scene don't like.
Okay, what's the next one?
So, what's this about?
I got you a thing.
Oh,
I got you a
Taash,
thing.
it's gorgeous. The stitching.
Yeah. Because I appreciate.
She was way more excited about that thing than that kiss. Like, I mean, use that same enthusiasm. I hate the way this Taash person talks. Who's a voice actor for this?
I don't know, but
Hey, I got you a thing.
And today's news, the baseball game was a blowout.
Appreciate your skills at archery.
Thank you, Taash. That's really sweet.
You're really nice. And, you smell good.
Taash doesn't have any game, man. Like, why? Like, what?
Oh, thank you?
Really good.
Oh. Hey, Taash. Do you want to come with me to break this in?
Yeah. Like, now?
Of course now.
Oh, good. Let's go.
What the hell was that?
I know, like the weird, like, again, if that was a dude snarling and saying you smell real good.
You smell good. I told you it's predatory.
And Taash is supposed to play that kind of confused but kind of strong dragon slayer. and a bit rough around the edges, but there's a brutality to it with a lack of sentiment.
Because they have zero personality and zero inflection, and it's just, oh, what now?
Well, saying you smell good and like, do you want to break this in? It's like, yes, go. I get my rocks off, and that's it.
Yeah.
You are a sex doll for me.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
especially that character, like she's sweet, she's sentimental, she's a bit flighty. Like treat her with some respect. It's just, yeah, if she was my friend and that was a dude talking to her that way, I'd be like, I don't know, this is a red
No.
flag. Like, just don't like. They're gonna like Roger you and then throw you away. Like this isn't a person that I feel like really cares and has a heart. We'd have to play play through the game and learn this character, but it's grossly predatorial and aggressive. Like, yeah, I was thinking like, oh, look at this political stuff and bad writing, whatever. Feels perverse. Like ugh.
The air has been running from the storm all afternoon. You came just in time for it. There are others here as well, up the beach.
Yeah, it's okay. We came to meet them.
Riveni with one of their seers.
Again, I can't help but think the people who made this game are deliberately making the characters look bad. They're like the Kunari never used to look like this in the old games. They look
Okay.
BA. So they purposefully made them safe and soft when they should be like
Oh.
orcs kind of.
Yeah, this guy looks like delicate.
Look at his shoulders, like mine. They're like mine.
Oh
They're
yeah.
like little skinny shoulders.
No,
It's
they're
the way
even
I'm
worse than
sitting.
yours.
Yeah, like a big head with little shoulders, which what does that do? Emaciates them and makes them not even more feminine, but childlike. Again, there's this weird sort of emasculating and dehumanizing of characters.
What did you mean the air is running away from the storm?
We think of air as being nothing, but if you have felt a driving wind, you know it has weight. On a calm, sunny day, the air rests on you like a warm, thick blanket. When a storm is coming, the air pushes on you less. We say that it is afraid, running from the storm.
You can feel the difference in the air.
Some of us use tools to measure it. Some of us can feel it in old aches, or the way your body knows the sun is rising. Your mother's horn. You wear it as jewelry, like the Riveni do.
Yeah. Riveni wear their stories.
She would like it.
She'd be so pissed.
She would. But she would be proud of you.
Modern, kind of like millennial slogans, it just don't like this is a different world. She's so pissed. Like they do this throughout the game and other games as well. They'll use like those kinds of slang that we use, and it's just lacks immersion. Yeah. So the point of that scene is just bad writing, bad voice acting.
Yeah, the voice acting is bad. It's like I'm kind of like bored with their conversations a little bit sometimes.
Yeah. It's boring. And also what this is another thing we're finding in Hollywood is and games is to make dialogue sound profound.
Like that whole wind story was trying to make it sound profound, but it didn't.
Like this is where we've ended up. These 35-year-old millennials can't write.
Why do you run around in fancy mage clothes?
Because I like them.
You're barely even wearing a shirt.
You fight Anton with a bare midriff.
Everything all right?
We're fine. Just trading fashion tips. So what I wear is a problem for you?
It's not. It's just... Why dress like that? Are you trying to make your mother happy?
Taash, what's going on? Something is clearly bothering you.
My bet's on mothers and dresses.
It's just something my mother said the other day. That I act more like a man than a woman.
And you feel like you should wear dresses to make her happy?
No.
So what explains Taash's rude behavior and lack of sensitivity to another person is that Taash hasn't been accepted and therefore like unreflectively being rude. People do that, but people also have some social grace without projecting their problems on everyone else. It's
And
just,
you have every right to treat people like garbage if you feel like you've been
yeah, well,
misunderstood.
now we understand it. So like this is how people treat one another. If you don't accept them, they're by default rude, and it's not their moral responsibility in being rude because they haven't been accepted by their family. Therefore,
Yeah.
like that's not how people act, and also that's not a good character. It's ham-fisted, boring, and simplistic. People who go through issues related to identity aren't automatically like rude people.
It's actually very
Demeaning.
discriminatory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
one giant stereotype.
Can you imagine me in a dress? I'd look stupider than I'd look stupid.
This isn't about the dress, is it?
No, I don't know. She always says stuff like that. About how I dress, how I act.
And?
It feels right. When she says I act more like a man.
Do you like being a woman?
Nobody likes being a woman.
Ah.
Nobody likes being a woman. That's making me mad.
I mean,
And then the other woman's like so understanding. Yeah.
you're in a fantasy world where men and women have some sort of parity because of magic. And clearly this world has a lot of egalitarianism, and just they have to, that's the thing, the writers have to throw that in there
Mhm.
to make a feminist point, which isn't organic to the characters. So I'm like, oh, there's a writer looking over my shoulder seeing, remember, you shouldn't like being a woman, or no one likes being a woman because of,
Women have it so bad.
so
Women,
hard.
we have all these disadvantages, and women's lives are terrible, and women shouldn't like being women, and men
And
are the
yeah, you
best,
can say
apparently.
it's related to the character and don't see it as something general, but give me a break. These scenes are written to teach the audience things.
Okay. And thanks.
Just
You do look really pretty.
Oh?
To look at, I'd smudge your makeup.
Thanks for letting me down gently.
What does that
What does
mean?
what does that mean? What does that mean? You're really pretty to look at. I'd smudge your makeup.
Is it because of like doing it?
I don't know what that means. Making her cry. I have
I feel
no
like
I
it's like if we got it on, I'd make you all sweaty. It seems overall a heavy kind of immaturity in these scenes and these characters, reflexively getting mad at people for saying the wrong thing, being sexually aggressive without having any grace, self-deprecating humor, and the kind of I'm going to display my weakness and my wounds. Big heads, small bodies. We are children who can't really grapple with our emotions. We can't relate to people like adults. We are self-deprecating, flash in the pan children. So one of the things you should ask yourself, if you want to criticize our interpretations, is would you be friends with these characters? Or how would you feel if your friends were talking to each other that way? Or how would you feel if one of your friends was talking to a relative stranger that way, or someone that they're getting to know? You'd be embarrassed and alarmed, and there are a lot of red flags here. Writing's just bad. It's ham-fisted. It feels like someone's writing this script over your shoulder to teach you something, how to
Yeah.
behave. Wooden dialogue, the attempt at being poetic, infantilization. And again, you can have these themes, of course, if you want. But the way it's all hangs together is kind of uncomfortable. Not because of the
Yeah.
subject matter, but how they talk to each other.
That was probably the most uncomfortable I've ever felt in a cutscene of a video game, was that right there. That Bharv one.
You need to do some push-ups for your opinion.
Okay, what do you guys think? Have you guys played this Dragon Age? What do you think about the Bharv? Do you think Bharvs are a good thing, or do you think apologies are just fine? Like, what would you rather your friend do if they ate your food? Would you rather them say, I'm sorry? Would you be like, don't worry about it? Or do you want them to do painful push-ups in front of you in order for you to forgive them for eating your food that they didn't even really realize was your food. Anyway, let us know down below what you think about all that. You can find more of our content on our YouTube channel, Not a Strong Start. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Not a Strong Start. You can listen to us anywhere you listen to your podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. You can follow me on Instagram at Marie Plays It All. Never stop playing, never stop barving or barfing.
I'm gonna start wearing makeup.